He has us turned off and it has us on mute, I think, Linda.
Okay. All right. Well, at least I was in for a while. I was just waiting in the room. So go ahead.
I think now she's joining us.
Hello.
There she is. That's called a grand entrance, Pat.
It is.
You get to do it the way you want to do it.
There is one of my gals that's trying to get on and she can't get on. So that Mary. So I was trying to help her, and hopefully
She
she's
needs
able
to click the link in the email, because what I tried to do was put in just the meeting ID and it asked for a
password. Exactly.
So you have to click on that link.
Yeah, for sure. So hello, Linda and
Hi.
Sarah, Johnny, and Anna. I know Anna's trying to connect right now, so we'll give her a few minutes. I know Mary's trying to connect also as well. So yeah, we'll give them time to
Johnny!
land. Yes. Have y'all had a good day so far?
I would say
It's
yes.
starting. Mine's my morning still. It's just now high noon for me. So
That's right, she's California. And Johnny, you were about to say something?
she's on mute.
I just had lunch and I'm eating chocolate. So what do you think?
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't get any better than that, right?
Exactly.
So I'm hoping Anna is getting on. Anna, we can see you, but we can't hear you. So
Now we can see Mary.
and now we can see Mary.
Finally, the link worked. I think I need more coffee.
Well, we're having coffee and chocolate and you name it. Whatever gives us that spark of energy. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I invite you to have some paper and pen, because this is going to be, we're going to have exercises throughout the hour. So my intention is just to pour as much into you in the next hour that will give you some amazing tips and practices that will help put you in a position of control where you can start letting go of the stress and the anxiety that we're all experiencing. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start with the slides. I invite you to ask questions at any time or put them on the chat. Mary's going to help with the questions as they come through to make sure I don't miss anyone. And one of the things that I'm going to do right now is for Mary is I'm going to go ahead and make you a co-host in case something happens. You'll be my backup. So with that, we're good to go. All righty. So what I ask of you is just to be fully present and to just, let go of the things that have happened earlier in the day, and just to take a deep breath and bring all of who you are into the room. This session is specifically for you, and whatever comes and resonates with you is what you were meant to learn. And so I ask you to play fully in this session. So by the end of this webinar, you're going to learn a lot of practices that you can take away with. And I invite you to be curious about the practices. Some of these practices may be familiar to you, and I would love for you to share, if you are doing some of these, that you can share what difference they made in your life, so that the other gals on this call can really benefit from your experience. A lot of these can be done any day, anytime throughout your day. It's just a matter of when they feel best for you and when you see the results really come in. So it's all about just awareness and your self-care and really self-leadership. All of these practices really are a way to lead yourself better through life, so that you are responding to life versus reacting to life. And my promise to you is that the 5 practices are practices that are easy, that anyone can practice. And if you're consistent about practicing, they will have an amazing effect on your life. So if throughout the session, if I go through a practice and it doesn't make sense to you, please feel free to raise your hand because they are easy. And I just want to make sure that I explain it in a way that lands in your heart and is really curious and you want to practice it. So what do we know about stress and anxiety? One reason that we have stress and anxiety is when we try to please others rather than please ourselves. That's a main reason. I think about that. A second one would be, and I find this often, is when we have a situation in our life that is not showing up like the way we want it to. Maybe you're given a project with a very short time frame, and you know that in order to get that project done, you're going to have to work weekends and long hours. It's not the way you wanted it. And so the stress of the fact that, God, I wish I would have had this project and had more time causes a level of stress because it's not unrolling or unfolding the way you want it to. And the one in recent times is what? COVID-19. That level of uncertainty of how every day something changes in the way we normally run our business and our lives. And we have to sit back and determine how are we going to react with this new information. And nowadays it's a little heightened. I'm reading a lot of articles, talking to a lot of women who are really experiencing a lot of stress and anxiety. So what does stress cause? It causes a lot of illnesses. The number one cause of stress, the number one disease of stress is heart disease. And heart disease is the number one killer in women. So 1 out of 5 women will die of heart disease. And there's a direct connection to stress when it comes to these diseases, especially heart disease. And you know what? It can be avoided. Yes, if you let it. So you're here because you have a desire to learn how to control that stress, to not let it ruin your day, and be able to really live your day in a more state of peace and calm. So the way that I approach stress is from a self-care perspective. And when I think about stress, self-care, I think about mind, body, and spirit or soul, because that's really all of who we are, right? Those 3 elements, mind, body, and soul. So we're going to be talking about these 3 areas, and we're going to talk about ideas of how we can bring more of these practices into our life as they relate to these 3 areas. And I know some of you are already practicing some sort of self-care. So I'd really like for you to jump in and share what you're doing. Part of this is all about personal growth. And we all know as business owners and professionals that our career and our business will grow to the extent that we do. So this is an opportunity to really take in some practices and grow yourself internally and see how it really notice how it manifests in your career and your business. How many of you have heard that mindset is everything? Raise your hand. Mindset is everything. Absolutely, right? You're as good as your mindset. So there are 2 kinds of mindsets. There's a growth mindset and a fixed mindset. So the growth mindset says, I can do this. I'm going to learn something new. If I make a mistake, you know what? It's just a lesson. A fixed mindset says, I am who I am. I knew this was going to happen. Either I know it or I don't. 2 different mindsets. Which is the one that brings more joy to you? The growth mindset. If you know people that have a fixed mindset, and even if you find yourself that you have some elements of the fixed mindset, this can be changed. It's just a decision. It's just a decision to have a growth mindset. So let's talk about how we take care of the mind. I love to look at it in these three different areas. We all have heard how important it is what happens between the ears. And a lot of it is self-talk. A lot of it is self-talk. So the thing that I want to encourage you to do today is to start becoming kind with yourself and compassionate with yourself, just like you would be kind and compassionate to your best friend. So what does that mean? So that when you make a mistake, you don't beat yourself up over it. You learn the lesson and you move on. You're kinder to yourself every day. The second is growing from within. So I understand and see that you're here. So that means that you believe in personal growth. You believe that personal growth is connected to your success. And that's why you're here to learn. So there are so many ways that we can actually grow from within. I'm opening up for input on what do you do to grow from within? What are you attending? What are you watching? What are you listening? Anyone? I think you all are on mute.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Mary just said I've started meditating. I love to read and I've always read my whole life, but I would back in the day, put cassettes in and then CDs and stuff in the car. Well, now I'm always listening to Audible. I mean, every time, other than having a phone call that I need to make, but before I get on the phone, just because, hey, I'm driving, I might as well be talking. Now I'll make one or two calls, but I really, just pick out my books that I want to read. Or, listen to now. I want to read, but I don't have time to read all I want to read. So, and you can also have podcasts and all that stuff too. So I'm constantly listening to that kind of thing.
You know that there's 850,000 podcasts. Linda,
Wow.
and I thank you for sharing that because I'm a podcast girl also, and I listen to a lot of books. So it is amazing the choices that you have. So thank you for sharing, Linda.
Mhm.
There are so many conferences now that have gone from in-person to virtual. And there's TED Talks,
Mhm.
right? There's YouTube. There's so much that is just in front of us with very little effort. And so many of those options are free. There is even an app that you can put on your phone that gives you an executive summary of a book in 15 minutes. So imagine how many books you can read in a week if you had that app. A lot.
There's a lot of free meditation apps out there as well.
Yes.
One of the ones I like the most is 10% Happier.
10% happy. You know what, ladies? As you start sharing, if you want to put on the chat that particular idea or that book or that podcast, I invite you to do that. And at the end, you can actually go to the orange box that says more and actually save the chat. So as you come up with ideas, I love it. Just feel free to share. So definitely a lot that we can do in this area. So setting goals is just as important because if you don't set a goal, any path will do, right? I know that all of you with the success that I've seen you experience are all goal setters. And right now is the best time to plan for 2021. So take some time this next few months and put together your SMART goals. So does anybody, is SMART goals familiar to most of you? SMART goals, everybody's shaking their hand. So what are they? Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, right? Because when you have those elements all built into your SMART goal, you know how to plan, if you're getting there, that goal is associated with your values, and you have a time frame that keeps you motivated and prioritizing your time. So that is really, really important. Anything on mind self-care that you all want to share?
What was the question again?
Anything else on your mind self-care that you want to share? What you do? Anything that
Well,
you
I just put into the chat room for myself, I'm an Abraham Hicks fan.
Yay! I think there's a lot of us here. I know Linda is. We have a really deep soulful conversations and bring Abraham Hicks. So yes, there's a lot of soulful people here, and I really appreciate. I appreciate the morning routine that that she has on YouTube. That's really inviting. So if you haven't tapped into her morning routine, I would definitely. It's a really uplifting. I think it's only 15 minutes, so it's really good. So yeah, it's great to hear that. So body self-care, the importance of movement, because when we move, our mood changes, right? It's uplifting. It brings oxygen to our mind. It just is. If you want to change your attitude, if you're in a bad mood, all you have to do is get up and walk for a few minutes and your attitude will change just like that. What I have also found is movement helps me find solutions. So when I'm stuck on a specific problem, all I have to do is get up and move. And the exercise that really the Heart Association is talking about is really 30 minutes worth of walking. So it doesn't have to be anything. It's really that simple. So what forms of exercise do you all participate in?
Well, I have a mini trampoline, and what I found is that even though that's easy, I would be like, okay, I just woke up, so I'm not going to do it now. And, I need to put I think we're all women bra on, and I'll do a little bit later. And it was always a thing I had to do. When my grandson was here during COVID, he would just walk by, jump on it for 2 or 3 minutes, get off, and then he just didn't make it a thing. It was like, okay, this is fun. Let me just jump for a while. Okay, it's not fun anymore. Let me get off. And so that's one of the lessons I learned from my grandson. One of many I learned while he was here.
The trampoline is really good. One of the benefits of getting on a trampoline is it cleans out your lymphatic system.
Mm-hmm.
And your lymphatic system is like your trash system. And so when you bounce, you move your lymphatic system and it just starts draining anything that's stored in your lymph system. And it really makes a big difference. Even if you just jump for 10, just do 10 jumping jacks or just jump 10 times, it will make a difference in your lymphatic system. It's really, really important.
I have a dog that demands to be walked about every 3 to 4 hours.
Oh, that's good.
Hey,
So she's my built-in exercise partner. I have to take her outside. We take a walk, clears out all the cobwebs, come back in, sit down, go back to work.
exactly. And I saw Johnny, you have a Peloton bike. How do you like it? You're on mute.
I absolutely love it. The great thing about it is you could ride for 10 minutes, you could ride for an hour.
Mhm.
So, and I break it up throughout the day. And so and I like that they have challenges that you could sign up for every month. And it's great. So I'm on a 30-day cycle challenge. I completed September for 30 days straight. And now I'm on October. So yeah, it's fun.
That is awesome. I've heard a lot of good things. I have a niece who has a Peloton bike and she soars by it as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So after you have a good workout, how delicious is it to go get some body work done? A massage, reflexology, healing lights, really, really important and just really moving all those toxins out of your body. And so many healing institutions or even massage institutions offer massages at a very inexpensive rate. So it's easy to take advantage of. And then of course the breath, right? The breath. Have you ever caught yourself throughout your day and you say, I'm not even breathing? And you just notice it. I'm not even breathing. And I notice it when I'm working out and I'm trying a new, a higher set of weights, a heavier set of weights. And then when I start working out, I just notice I'm holding my breath. And I've noticed that even my trainer will say, breathe. You're not breathing. Do the exercise, but I want you to breathe. And so many times we are not conscious of it. And many of the times we breathe from up here versus really from the belly. And so a simple exercise that we can do together right now is to really take, I'll explain it and then we'll do it. We take 4 deep breaths from the belly. We take a deep breath from the belly to the count of 4, hold it for 4, and then breathe out for 4. So if you'll just put your hands on your belly and just feel when you take that breath that your belly is expanding. So take in to the count of 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then exhale slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you do this at the top of the hour throughout your day, you will bring in more of a sense of relaxation. You'll clear your mind, and then it'll slowly become more of a habit that you will breathe in deeper as you start practicing, even if it's at top of the hour. So, all of these things we can do. And I know Anna just chimed in, and she says she loves jazz exercise. So, I haven't done that in a while. What a nice reminder. And Johnny enjoys warm baths. So warm baths with Epsom salt and baking soda is a good detoxifier. Anytime you feel like you're getting sick, you can set the tub with Epsom salt and baking soda, and it will really help. Not only does it soften your skin, but it'll help you start the healing process. So yeah, thank you. A lot of you are really involved in taking care of your body. That's great to know. Okay, our next section is about our lessons. So our life map is based on lessons that we have specifically come to learn. And when we don't learn them, what happens? We're destined to have another experience where we'll learn the lesson. And this is where nurturing the spirit comes in. Because when we connect with our internal being, our spirit, our soul, whatever you want to call it for you, you become aware of the lessons that are happening in your day so that you can actually absorb what the lesson is and not have to repeat it. So one of the prayers that I say every night is, God, let my lessons be easy. Let them be easy so that I can really move forward from there. Because who wants the lessons to be hard? Nobody does. But you have an opportunity to really connect with yourself throughout your day and just really look back at your day and see what is happening. 3 of my favorites are journaling, meditation, and then reading really uplifting books. And I know that several of you are love to journal. So is there anyone here that is new to journal? Anyone new to journaling? Okay, everybody does it. Okay. So my favorite questions in journaling is, what went well today? What did I learn? And what am I grateful for? Those are the 3 questions that I ask myself every day when I'm journaling. What did I learn? What am I grateful for? And what went well? Very important. So when it comes to meditation, meditation is just the time when you take to be still, right? And just focus on your breath. Does everybody meditate? Do we have any meditators in the house? Can you raise your hand if you meditate? Yeah, absolutely. So it's about, I know my sister's on there. So Martha, I don't know if that's a yes or a no. So chime in, Martha. It's just really just taking time to be still, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And that's how I started, because I had a struggle learning how to meditate. And so I just said, I'm just going to start with 5 minutes. I'm just going to focus on my breath. And, every week I'll just add 1 more minute, 1 more minute. And so now I can really meditate for 30, 45 minutes easily. And I really, love the fact that I do that. And it's so, if I don't start my day with this, I don't have as a successful day. I'm not as grounded in my day when I don't take them. And Robert, Johnny's saying, yeah, I feel the same. I feel the same. So one of the things that I do in my meditation is I ask, what would you like for me to do today? What's important for me to do in my day to day? And just be still and get direction from what I call Gus. It could be Gus, universe, source, and just ask those questions. Or if something is bothering me and I want direction on it in my meditation, I will ask, so what was the meaning of this particular event? What am I supposed to learn from this? So I use that meditation not only to get grounded, but to get answers, right? Get answers. And then uplifting books and podcasts or music. Does anybody have any uplifting podcasts or music that they love? Yeah, yeah, there you go. Anna says, I meditate through prayer in the evening when all the lights are out and quiet. Yes. Not, is that Nadama or Nadama?
Nadama's music is absolutely beautiful. And what I love about his music is the titles are connected to spirit in some form. Absolutely beautiful. And they're online.
One of my favorite artists as well, I'm going to have to tap into definitely him, is Karen Drucker. Has anybody heard of Karen Drucker? She's amazing also. She has
Absolutely,
very,
yes.
have you? Very uplifting, really positive messages. She's amazing. She has a lot of her songs on YouTube and they're really, really good. So,
Yeah, and a quick chance to learn.
so Johnny is a singer and she actually has her own CD and she has this beautiful song called Life Is Now. And it is an absolutely beautiful song. She has her own CD. So if you want to know more, send Johnny a chat and she'd be more than happy to send you a CD. Absolutely.
That's sweet. Thank you.
Okay, so I want us to take a few minutes and just review our current self-care practice, or if you don't have one, consider creating one. Because I can see that several of you do practice some self-care practices. And for those that don't, I just want you to just take in the ideas that we shared with you on mind, body, and soul, and just identify a few for you that you might want to start with. If you have a practice today, what would be a way to change it? What would be another way to make it juicier? What else could you start reading, listening to? So I want to take a couple of minutes and have you go through that exercise of what you would do in these three areas, and then we can come back and share. So right now I have 2:29. So at 2:31, we'll come back and then we'll do a share of what you listed for yourself or what you're considering doing, and just really have an opportunity to talk about what our answers are. So I'll just put us on mute for now. I'll put myself on mute and then I'll come back and check with you in about. I'm putting in the chat Karen Drucker, the female singer that I just mentioned, who's amazing, worth bringing into you. Okay, so I have 2:31. So opening up the floor for discussion. What did you all think about? What new ideas? What would you like to share with the group?
For the mind, I listed affirmations, reading them in the mirror. I find when I do that, it helps to reinforce. And hearing myself say it out loud
Yes.
also
Mm-hmm.
helps me build my confidence.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. I love affirmations. One of the affirmations that I use on a daily basis that I'll share with you is, my body supports everything I want to do in life.
Mm.
My body supports everything I want to do in life. So that
Yeah,
from a mind, body, and soul perspective, it's healing me, it's giving me the energy, it's giving me the focus, the spirit, the momentum to do what I want in life. That's one of my favorites.
Pat, this is Anna. I personally, like you are going through a construction of a house and we completed. So we're going to be moving in. So we have a lot of things going on. And so one of the things that I listed on the mind piece is to definitely distress my life somehow, to do more of that meditation piece, a lot more, not just that one moment at night, but perhaps a little bit longer to help distress, a little bit.
Building a house is an adventure. You and I should get on the phone and share stories. Yes, a good habit, and I love that, is for me, I meditate in the morning. That's where the most of my meditation is at. And then at lunchtime, I take 5 minutes. And then before I go to bed, I take another moment for meditation. So I actually meditate 3 times a day, specifically to get insight and direction. So it's proven to be very helpful to get into that pattern of meditation. Anyone else?
Well, something I'm going to shift, I've had a challenge with it, is like Mary, I walk my dog 3-4 times a day. However, his precious body is getting older and he doesn't have the distance that he used to have. And so I've slowed my walking pace down to be with him. It's like his walks, I slow myself down, and it's about me going out for my walks without him. And it's like a big shift I'm needing to make for myself, but I'm not getting the heart pumping the way I want it to pump, and not having me time. It's like I'm always in a providing and giving mode with him, and it's about me taking time for me. And that's a shift. So
It is a
I'm
shift.
glad we're having this conversation, because I've been reminding myself, but I have yet to do it.
The trouble with walking a dog is you're walking at their pace and they're standing and sniffing and
Yep.
doing stuff. And yeah, it's not enough. But I wanted to share that I found a 2-week challenge, exercise challenge through Kathy Smith, who, believe it or not, is still out there practicing and doing, and doing classes and things. And naturally I signed up about 2 weeks ago and haven't done any of it. And I am determined to start today, because I can really feel that I'm getting very stiff and I don't like the feeling. And we're talking about 20 minutes at a time. And I thought, all right, you can do this.
Absolutely.
But it's just easier to do, to pass by if it's something you do at home versus going out. I really miss my rec center, and it's sort of back open. I'm debating as to whether to try to go back to group classes.
You bring up a good point, Mary, that COVID has kind of changed our pattern of exercising.
It really has. I used to go 3 times a week to the rec center, and I just loved my classes. And that was a huge difference when it closed.
Yeah. So we're now having to revisit, how do we get the same level of movement and really the company, right? Because you would have a lot of people that you would see on a regular basis.
Yeah, it was a social thing too. And I missed that a lot. And I really enjoyed the instructors, and it was a good break in my day. And now I have to do that at home.
Yeah. So now we have to make a pivot. Yeah, absolutely. Important. Well, thank you everybody for sharing that. So the next thing I want to talk about is a bedtime technique. So I talked about how it's important. Our life is mapped out by the lessons that we're destined to learn, and if we don't learn them, we're destined to repeat them. And this particular technique that I learned, bedtime technique, it's called unraveling, and it helps raise your level of awareness and puts you in a position where you can see where the lessons exist, where the opportunities exist in your day. And it really opens you up to being an observer in your life. And the way it works is that at the end of the day, right before you go to bed, you actually play the movie of your day. So you can play your day from the beginning in the morning when you wake up until you're ready to go to bed, or you play it from bedtime to the beginning of your day. So you just play basically the video of your day and you observe it and see what you pick up from the events that you were in, how you felt. Were you stepping into your power? Was it a positive experience? Were you playing small? Were you happy when you were doing that event? Is it an event that you hate to do? And you just start observing your activities. I'm going to give you one example. I love to do this exercise. So what I noticed is I start from the beginning and then go back and then work towards bedtime. And I wake up and do my workouts. And so I was watching myself in my mind doing my workouts. And that particular day I was working out with weights. And I noticed how easily I was able to work out. And I said that I'm doing that pretty easy. I think it's time to probably go from 8-pound weights to 10-pound weights. I had gotten so comfortable working out with those 8s that I didn't even notice that I was strong enough to probably challenge a 10-pound weight. So now I've started working out with a 10-pound weight. And I will work with the 10 pounds until I start losing my form. So if I'm lifting him and I start, wobbling, then what I do is I then go back to my 8-pound weights. And then I'm able to do the exercise with form. But it also begged the question, where am I playing with 8-pound weights when I can be playing with 10-pound weights? So where else in my life have I gotten so comfortable that I'm not willing to step out of the box to try something else? So that's what unraveling can do for you, is it can really put you in a position where you're more an observer at your end of day and you can see where the opportunities and the lessons lie. So it can take, as quickly as 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And I would definitely have a journal. And as you start unraveling your day, you actually start making notes. I could have, this is what I learned from here. Next time I'll do this differently. I'm doing this task and I really don't like it. So why am I doing it? And so you start, questioning and becoming aware of your activities, and you can pivot from that exercise. You can make a pivot the next day and live a better day. So it's very, it's a life-changing exercise. That's all I can say. It's called unraveling. Anybody have any? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to ask you, I was reading one word I can't see. Unravel your day daily and your level of awareness will, is that increase?
Will
Okay,
increase. Mm-hmm.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
It will definitely do that. And it's definitely done that for me. It is very worthwhile. Any questions on that exercise?
Such a great idea. I definitely will put it into practice. Thank you.
Yeah, you mentioned how interesting you say you equated it with the 10-pound weight, and exactly what you just said. I had been working out with 8-pound weights, then COVID hits, and I only had 5-pound weights at home. And my husband got me weights and they were 10 pounds. And I go, oh no, I usually do 8. And so I've been using 10 pounds, and it forced me, like you said, in looking at things differently from that perspective. And I think that whole COVID and readjusting to the new normal does push you in that direction, like you're saying.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Anna. Yes, absolutely. It's and congratulations on taking that, that step to the 10. It is a jump, right? It is a jump, and you're obviously becoming stronger. So next time you and I talk, I'm going to ask you if you've gone to 12. Because that's the next one. We can't stay at 10 forever. If you go to a trainer, he changes you almost every 2 weeks. He gives you more weight. So just kind of.
Well, actually, since she has 5 and 10s, the next leap would be 15.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That should be easy. So yeah, absolutely. Your level of awareness and good for stepping it up. So, right. We get comfortable being uncomfortable is really, Tara, that's a great lesson. Because that's how we grow. Yeah, that's how we grow. Okay. So that is unraveling. Okay. So this section is about tapping into your inner knowing. I feel that a lot of us are in this call are researchers, so that when we are seeking to do something different, or we're curious, or we want to know how to solve a problem, that we'll do our homework, or we'll go to people that are subject matter experts, or we'll go to gurus in order to get a breadth of knowledge before we make a decision. Is that a good sense of many of you that actually do that? Because that's what I feel from you, that you all are, you all do your homework before you make decisions. And then at the end of the day, it really comes down to you, right? Now you have all this knowledge, you have all these options. And so now you have to make a decision. And so now is the time where you tap into your inner knowing and get the answer from within. Because at the end of the day, we have the answers, right? We have the answers. So I want to share 2 ways that you can get those answers. And if you are using another technique to get that inner answer, I would really love for you to share it with the group. So the first one is called, does it feel light or heavy? I'm going to talk through a scenario. Have you ever gone to an event and you met someone new and you immediately felt in here like you've known them forever? Has anybody ever had that experience? Raise your hand. Thank you. And you just like, oh my God, just a wonderful feeling. Your heart feels warm and you're just like, wow, you're happy to connect with that person. And then you talk to somebody else and you just feel this sense of contraction. And like you don't trust them. It's not a good energy. You just immediately feel a different sense of energy in your body. Have you ever felt that? Is that yes? Yep. Okay. So now you've had you've had a change. You have felt within you, there's 2 different changes of energy and how that feels. Well, this one, does it feel heavy or light, is similar. So when you are asking yourself a question that you want an answer to, and you become still, you close your eyes, and if the answer is a yes, you will feel this level of openness and lightness in your body. Like a feather. You just feel this light feeling around you. You have a really good feeling around you. That's a confirmation that you move forward with that. If it's a no, you feel that contracted feeling and you feel a sense of weight. It's like having those 10-pound weights on your shoulder. You feel heavy and you feel contracted. That's an obvious no. So that's one technique. If you're curious about whether you should move forward or not, the yes or no, this is a perfect way to test that and get feedback from your body. The second one is meditation. And of course, bringing the question into your meditation. Once you get still, you ask the question. And this is the format that I use. You may use something similar. Is it in my best interest? Is it in my best interest to hire Mitch as an employee? Is it in my best interest to partner with Martha? Is it in my best interest? And then you ask the question. Versus, Should I do this? And then waiting for a yes or no. That the laying out of this question, is it in my best interest, really opens you up to possibilities. And it's a better way of asking the question. Is it in my best interest? Or is it in my highest good to do something else? So that you're asking, will this elevate? Will this elevate me? Will this move me forward? And then wait for the answer. Some of us will see the answer, some of us will hear the answer, and some of us will feel the answer. But if you ask that question in meditation and you specifically ask it that way, you'll be surprised the kind of feedback that you get. This third one is tapping into possibilities, right? So you have a wonderful experience, you have a good meeting, a good conversation, a wonderful dinner, and we easily take that in and we accept it. And the great question to ask when something like this happens is, how does it get better than this? How does it get better than this? How does this conversation with this particular client, how does it get better than this? How does putting this event get better than this one? And so you're asking for expansion and you're asking for feedback on something that was successful and how you can take that level of success to the next level. How does it get better than this? What do y'all think about that question?
That's a great question. Yeah, it's a good question.
It opens you up. It really opens possibilities for you.
Does.
How does it get better than this? One of the things that I invite you to do as you start practicing is it heavy or light or getting your answer, is that when you ask a question and you get an answer, is to write it on your journal. And then throughout time, whether the answer is something that gets deployed the following day, or maybe it's in the future, is that you come back to when you ask that question and you followed that answer, how it worked out for you. Because you can ask the questions and not do it. And then you don't realize that you didn't really follow this inner knowing within you. And this happened to me one day. I was traveling to New York. In my meditation, I heard, don't take your diamond earrings. And I didn't pay attention to it. I just want to take one pair of earrings. It'll go with whatever I wear. I wore the diamond earrings. And what do you think happened? I lost one of them. I lost them. That was the last time that I ignored my inner knowing, because I paid a big price for that. So your inner knowing is giving you the best answer possible. So follow it. Trust it. And then validate it in your journal that you actually did that and you followed that and this is how things turned out. It's always good to go back and do the validation. I love your comment, Mary. It forces you to think beyond what's right in front of you. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Okay. Any questions up to this point? So the next thing I want to do is talk about the power of intention. And this is a formula that I will leave with you that I want you to take with you. And this is how you set an intention for what you want to occur in life. For example, it has 3 parts. The first part is what your intention is. So I'll take you through an example that I did today. So I said, my intention is to host an amazing webinar, to have full interaction from all the participants. My intention is to be fully present and have this session be easy and effortless. That was my intention for this session. Under the category of I want to feel, I put, I want to feel good. I want to feel excited about putting this together. I want to be connected. I want to be articulate. I want to feel a sense of calm while I'm delivering this. And on the second side, I want them to feel, which is you. I want them to feel good coming into this class. I want them to feel they want to participate and share their ideas. I want them to be open to what I have to share. And I want them to be connected to everybody else on the group. That's how I use the power of intention. You can use this for anything, any event, any conversation, going shopping, going on vacation, anything that you want to pre-pave or ask the universe to provide, you use this particular formula, the intention formula. It's just a T that you identify. My intention is, this is what I want to feel. This is what I want others to feel. Bringing your feelings into something that you want to bring into your life is very important. So that's why feel is part of this formula. Are there any questions on this? The power of intention.
It's a great exercise. Can't wait to try it.
I use this when I go shopping. I'll say my intention is to find a close parking. I use it for everything. I want to feel that when I go into the parking lot, when I drive in, there it is. There's the parking, right? And it's just something that it's just become such a part of me that I use it for everything. You know, and Tara just shared this technique infuses powerful energy into all that we do. Absolutely.
I'm going to use that the next time I need to go find a parking space.
Hey, well, yeah, you know, and exactly. You know, when I enjoy shopping, but I want to have a positive experience. When I go shopping, I'll say, you know what, I'm going to go into my intention is to go into the store and I'm going to find the perfect jacket, and it's going to be at the right cost. And the lady that's going to wait on me, it's going to be really friendly and patient, you know. And I just set the whole tone. My conversation with this client is going to be easy and effortless, and I will know immediately if it's a match.
Mm-hmm.
I will know immediately if it's a match. And I want to feel comfortable and confident with who I am. And I want to have the patience to carry the conversation. And I use it for everything.
Well, I think it really puts you into a really terrific mindset as well, that I think it actually kind of paves the way because you're going into it with the right attitude.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's great.
It makes all the difference, right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It makes all the difference. This is a powerful one. And then one of the last techniques is, you know, how to embrace yourself to making life changes, right? Because I totally believe that we are always at choice in everything that we do. From the time that we wake up, we're always making choices, and we are, who we are today is accumulation of all the choices that we made all these years. And what I want to encourage you to do here is to be an empty canvas every time you wake up, is that you're open to possibilities and that you're open to whatever happens and taking it in as this is happening because it's for my highest good. It's just being open and empty. As Catherine says in chapter 1, is to be open and empty and to be fully present. So what does it mean to be fully present? It means that you're not thinking about the past. Your mind's not in the future, what ifs of your life. You're just in the moment of what you're doing. Like you're fully here, paying attention to what everybody is saying in this session. And then asking yourself the question, does this move me forward? Is the decision that I'm about to make, is it going to move me forward in my life and in my business? Okay. So we have been here masterminding about ideas about our mind, body, and soul and life all together. And one of my favorite quotes from Napoleon Hill is, no individual has sufficient experience, education, native ability, and knowledge to ensure the accumulation of great fortune without the cooperation of other people. So what that says is together we do better. Together we elevate ourselves. And this is a moment where you can say to yourself, you know what? When was the last time I said yes and won? I love him. So there are some of you on this call that are saying, I want more. I want more. I want to go deeper into what Pat just taught. I want to expand my level of self-leadership. I want more. And so my more for you is a next level of support where we work side by side for a longer period of time. And it is called the Restore Calm into Your Daily Life Master Program. And it continues with what we've learned today. And I bring in other practices and we go into a deeper level because we meet 5 times instead of this one time. And so this particular program starts next week. It's on a Thursday from 4 to 5. And this is what we will, this is what you will get out of the program, is that, of course, we've already started to learn what it takes to decrease your stress and become more calm. When we go deeper into it, we learned about how to prioritize your day, how to live your day by your values, which will create your ideal day, and how to make it better than your last, right? And to really live from in here. Okay. So like I said, this class begins next week from 4 to 5. And I have, for those who are ready to take action, the value of this program is typically $497. If you enroll within the next 24 hours, it's $197. And the bonus is that you and I get a one-on-one 20-minute session. So if this is something that resonates, if you're ready to take the next level and invest in yourself, this is the perfect time to do it, right? Because transformation is not something that you do tomorrow. Transformation is something that you do today, and you make a decision to do that today. There is no force more powerful than the woman determined to rise. Is that you?
Amen.
So this is the link, bit.ly/Pat's Master Program. And if it resonates with you and you're ready to move forward, then I'd love to have you work together with another group of like-minded women. And just go to the link and enroll yourself. It's already set up for a $197 special for the next 24 hours. And I'd love to have you there. I'd love for you to be a part of it if this is something that resonates. Thank you, Tara, for putting it on the chat. I really, really love it. I love your comment, Tara. It also raises our expectations for good to come. Absolutely. Any questions before we move forward with our lives practicing these new techniques? And I invite you just to take one. If you just take one of the techniques that we shared today and just practice it for 30 days, your life will transform. I've been there, done that. I've shared these techniques with my clients. And I can tell you, if you're consistent about just practicing one of them, start with one, you'll see a change in your life. You really will.
And I wanted to ask you,
Yes.
what are some of the wonderful ways in which your life has shifted by practicing not only what you shared with us today,
Mhm.
but the additional practices you have in mind for your course? What is different about your life from implementing them?
I would say that I am definitely more focused with what I want to do. And I rely on my inner knowing on what is right for me. And it's really what's transformed me is just living through intention and mindfulness every day. And when you do that, the things what I've noticed is that when I live with intention and mindfulness, I create amazing things in my life. I really do. I can manifest amazing things when I live with intention and mindfulness. And when it doesn't work out, my belief is that there was something else that's in my highest good. And you know what? I'm not going to be angry about it. I'm just going to take it in. And tomorrow I'm going to start all over. So it's just a sense of peace that I feel, and a sense of confidence that whatever comes my way, I'm going to be able to handle it because I've got the tools to do it. So I don't go into panic anymore. You know, if I can't figure it out, I just sit down and meditate. I know I'll get the answer. So it's a different way of living. Really, really soulful way of living is how I would describe it.
Thank you. I like that soulful way of living. So that's what's possible by being a part of your course.
Mm-hmm.
It's a soulful way of living.
A soulful way of living.
Love that.
Absolutely. Does anybody want to share an aha before we end the session? Any one thing that just kind of struck you and like, I hadn't thought about that.
I like the intention that you, idea of setting the intention. I hadn't thought about that. And just the way that you break it down in not only what I'm looking for, what am I looking to make sure that someone else receive from the experience as well.
Right.
And that's really good.
I'm
Awesome.
going to try the unraveling at bedtime. I think that's a wonderful idea.
Great.
Agree.
Very good. Again, if you want to copy anybody's name that's on here, if you want to put your contact information, please feel free to do that. And then you can always come down to the more where you're able to actually, record everything that came out on the chats. What I'm going to do is also write down all the information that you had here. I'm going to copy that for myself actually and save the chat. And I will be sending out a thank you for attending. It'll include the link so that if you want to go back and listen to it, you'll also have the wonderful thoughts that everyone else shared with you of resources. And you'll also get the link to enroll. So if I can support you in any way in any of the materials that we covered today, just call me. I'm here. And I just want to tell you that I appreciate you very much. Thank you for being here. And until then.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everyone. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Thank you.